All right, good morning. Today is Thursday, October 3rd. Yep, October 3rd. We are having our peer networking meeting, and today we are going to be discussing Snap Stretch. This is an advocacy effort that we are working on with the West Virginia Food and Farm Coalition. Um, and we have Cordell Bostic here from Food and Farm, and he will go over the program and how individual markets can help and what we are looking for in terms of assistance with our advocacy program. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Cordell to go over his presentation.
Hey everybody, my name is Cordell Bostic. As Holly said, I'm with the West Virginia Food and Farm Coalition. Snap Stretch is a program we've been running for a number of years now. Some of you might be familiar with it, some of you might not, but I'm just here to give you a good overview of what the program is, how it operates, its current standing, and what we can do in the future with it.
You should be able to share your screen now.
Awesome. All right, can everybody see? Nice. So first off, this is what we're looking at. SnapStretch impacts the state in a multitude of ways, from um, local businesses to feeding people to farmers. It truly is a multifaceted program that touches the lives of so many in the state. So how it works is when someone go with an EBT card goes to a farmer's market, CSA, locally owned grocery store, they are using their EBT card to buy something from that location. They can get a double up effect or a triple effect of that funding at that local station or at that local store. So let's say you spend $20 of Snap Stretch, you can end up getting 40, maybe 60 if you're a senior or you have a child with you. So who really benefits from this program? As you see, we have a whole list of people here who benefits. The people who are actually recipients of the program are children, seniors, grandfamilies, people with disabilities, people with chronic diseases. This program allows them to eat more food and healthier food while contributing to local farm, local agriculture, and the local economy and business development in the state. So why it's important, as I was saying, you get better health outcomes from this. This is fresh fruit, fresh vegetables people are eating right out of the garden or the farm. You are developing West Virginia's food system. So as we know, West Virginia is a very rural state, and at times there are a lot, or not at times, but more often than not, there are large swaths of food deserts in the state. People are having to drive 20, 30 minutes just to get to their nearest grocery store. With this allows better access to things like farmers markets, and it allows supplemental income to grocery stores in the state. But one of the most prevalent talking points I like to mention is when you are spending these dollars at these local stores, at these local farmers markets, these dollars are staying in the state and going in the pockets of people who, are basically your neighbors. So a lot of times, let's say we take these monies and we go to Walmart, Kroger's, and that's where we're buying the vegetables and produce from. Those dollars typically are leaving the state. So when you spend money at Walmart, that is actually funneling the money out of the state to wherever their financial headquarters are. While when you're spending it here at these local businesses and local farmers markets, that money is immediately going into the pockets of the people in your community. And what happens is when that money goes into their pockets, they can then recirculate it back into the local economy. So, the farmer's going to spend it on their, maybe it's tax season, they got to spend it on their local accountant. The accountant is going to spend it on their local restaurant. The money just keeps circulating back into the economic ecosystem here. And here's just a little graph of how that really works. So for every $100 spent at Walmart, less than $14 of it actually stays in West Virginia. And when you are spending these dollars in, you see a recirculating rate up 4 times more than when you spend at a non-local company. This multiplier effect is absolutely huge for local business and local ag in the state. It's something that we've been, hollering about for years now. This program is about 5 years old, and it's really changed the lives of a lot of local businesses, local farmers, and local residents as well. Here's just a quick breakdown of like some of the funds that we've been circulating since 2020. So as you can see, the green line here, that is how much of the EBT dollars we're capturing. And then the blue line is how many dollars that we are then recirculating back into the economy through the SNAP stretch itself. So you see here, the green is that funding that typically would go to Walmart, Kroger's, and that's what's staying in the state. And then the blue is what is also being supplemented into local economies as well. Return on investment is absolutely huge. Since our inception in 2018, we've served 35 of the counties here in the state. We've had 45 SNAP stretch firms. Close to 80,000 West Virginians have benefited in total. 3 million has been returned to the food and agriculture economy, and which has resulted within a 4.7 million economic impact for the state. But we are currently at a small crossroads for the program. Currently, with the exception of one or two markets, the program itself is completely on pause right now. This is mainly due to two reasons. So the program has absolutely just exploded in popularity since COVID, and people are, being SNAP stretch recipients more than ever. Due to that, the funding has been incredibly important, and the funding has actually dwindled a little bit quicker than we've expected. We have sought the aid of the state legislature and the state budget to try and help funding this program. Quick preface, currently we are unfunded by the state. All of our funding comes from either in the form of grants or private philanthropy. And a reliable source of funding from the state could actually make all the difference with a program like this. We've had some local governments and local county commissions step up and help run the program, like in Preston County and the city of Charleston. By and large, this is a program that needs to reach the entirety of the state. So how you can help. So currently we are working with the Department of Agriculture. They are requesting a line item for the funding of this program. What that means is if this line item passes in the governor's budget, then every year we will get that certain amount of money given to the program, and we will be able to actually use that funding to acquire more federal dollars. So if it's a one-to-one match, for every dollar we receive from the state, we can grab a $1 from the federal government as well and bring it into the state. I mean, it's basically free money that's on the table. Things, I know everyone here probably has some form of touch with agriculture, farmers markets and everything. How you can help is by, reaching out to your local legislature, reaching out to whoever the new governor might be in November. And, we can equip you with these talking points, these economic numbers, these factors of how important the program is. And if maybe you're from a market that you've had this program, if you're a market that maybe wants to start this program, the funding really has to start before we can start re-exploring those things. And what we've been doing is we've been creating a group of people we call SNAP Stretch advocates, and we have been taking them to the Capitol to meet with legislators, getting them to write letters to their local legislators and the governor. And that is going to be what I think is the best way to advocate for this program to get the funding we need come the next legislative session. So does anybody have any questions?
Cordell, maybe we can touch on the advocacy part down at the Capitol, because that sounds scary, but I can assure you it is not a scary process at all. And maybe you could talk about what we did last year and how we paired off with people and made it easier for everybody to go have those meetings.
Definitely, yeah. So 100%, Holly. At first, if you've never been to the Capitol, I mean, it can be a little intimidating. It's a large building, people walking around in their suits and ties. It can be a little odd if you've never been in that place before. What we do, we host something called Local Food and Farms Day in the middle of the legislative session, and then we get everyone that we've made contact with, and we bring them to the Capitol and we put them in groups, 2 to 3 to 4 member groups. And before this, actually, we do a training session on what we're expecting to happen in these meetings, who you're going to be meeting with. We'll set up all of the meetings. And when the day of comes, we all meet at the Capitol that morning. And typically I have I'm going to say just a list of who you're meeting with, when you're meeting them with them, and the talking points you need to cover when you meet with these legislators. So that's what we do during the legislative session, but also we have we bring people in during interims sometimes as well. So interims happens typically once a month for a couple days at the Capitol, and we can bring someone in if they really want to talk to their lawmaker. We can definitely make that happen then as well.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, thank you, Holly.
Absolutely, yeah. And last year was my first time advocating for Snap Stretch, and Cordell makes it so easy. We just showed up. He gave us all a folder. It says what time you're supposed to be somewhere, who you're with. So I was paired with some other um, influential market in the southern part of the state and with another nonprofit group, and then we went in, and not everybody likes to do the talking, and that's okay. Being there and being able to input your story, you don't have to carry the narrative when you're in there, right, Cordell?
For
Because
sure.
we've got these teams that are built around groups so that kind of each point can be covered. And it's not relying on, like, we would not expect you as a market manager to go down there and it be you that has to put on the entire conversation with that legislator. You're with a group, so we kind of all bounce off of each other as we're talking to them.
Definitely, yeah. Thank you for that, Holly. A lot of times we'll use people, we've had people advocating for this program for a few years now, and we'll kind of make them like the team lead, team captain, and then assign 2, 3 people who might have never done this before, and they'll kind of help orchestrate that conversation once you get to the legislature.
Absolutely. It's much easier than it would sound just going in blind, because you won't go in blind. We'll have everything ready. We'll have all had a meeting with the Food and Farm Coalition at that lovely event the night before we go. So that you will be ready and comfortable. And we're kind of already mingling there in that space, right, Cordell, with the legislative members. So it's not a cold call. They kind of expect us to come because of the events and stuff going on. So Sherry
Definitely.
says, is there a canned speech letter that we can share with the QR code to find our reps? And she's happy to participate.
Oh, awesome. Thank you, Sherry. Yes, I do have I'll have all your emails after this meeting, and I can definitely send you some of our materials to talk with your local legislature about. We are also hosting, and we're actually sending this out today. We are having what's called the Food for All Summit on November 11th. And what that is going to be, that's going to be here in Charleston. And what we'll be doing is we'll be going over a lot of these topics and a couple other topics besides Snap Stretch. And like I said, I'll be sending those invites out today, and all of you are more than welcome to attend. There'll be free food, good people, and a lot of good conversation as well.
Sure. Sherry has her hand up. Go ahead, Sherry.
Thank you. I don't know if this would be an idea that would be appropriate, but in the past, and I'm going back a lot of years, so maybe things have changed. But in the past, when I've wanted to, when I've had something to talk with my representatives about, I had a lot of luck just contacting their office and saying, hey, you know what? Do you have like 10, 15 minutes with me Saturday morning at 9 o'clock? I'll buy you coffee at McDonald's. And they were not all of them, but a lot of them were pretty receptive to that. They knew how much of their time I was going to take. They knew what I wanted to talk about. And, back then coffee was just a couple bucks. Now I don't even know what it costs, but um, I'd be happy to do stuff like that. I'm in Monongalia County, so close to Preston, Marion, Harrison, however you need me.
I say, yeah, Senator Oliverio up there in Mon County, he's one of our biggest supporters, actually. He's a
Great.
huge fan of the program, and that's a great way to do things, actually. At the end of the day, they might be in the legislature, they might have their fancy clothes on, but they're just normal people, and that's exactly how you need to talk to them. They, I hate to say this, but they really do put their pants on, same way we do, and 9 times out of 10, they're going to want to talk to you. There's a few that might be a little more combative, but they're just normal people, and they don't know about the program. Most of them have nothing to do with agriculture. They don't know much about agriculture, and it's people like us, our job to be bring this attention to them, like, hey, this is a program that is super important in the state. And they'll be like, oh wow, I've never even, really thought of it like that. And then that's how you get that conversation rolling. And the coffee don't hurt either.
Right. Yeah, and making sure that the connection there with the SNAP dollars and the farmers is really important to drive home, because a lot of times, again, I think the connection's not there. People don't necessarily always connect the food they're eating with local. The fact that somebody, your neighbor, grew it, somebody, that's their livelihood. So driving that point home with legislators is well, and anyone really, about food and local food is important. That was a connection we made a lot of times, because they like to hear that it benefits local farmers, local growers. And we need to impress upon them how important that is. We don't want to lose farms. West Virginia has about 22,000 farms. And of course, that number shrinks. We don't want that. We want more growers, more people eating local food. And getting that food out to people through the SNAP Stretch program is an excellent way to put the money in the pockets of the farmers who are growing our food, and support the people that need it most. So that is excellent. Cordell, if you don't have anything else with your presentation, I'm going to go ahead and stop our recording for today. This will be available on our YouTube video, and then we can just have some general conversations on ways maybe individually we can help if we're interested. So if you were watching this from our YouTube channel, you can always reach out to us at the West Virginia Farmers Market Association, and you can reach out to Cordell at the West Virginia Food and Farm Coalition, and we can connect you with the resources to advocate for SNAP Stretch and to promote SNAP Stretch and our local farmers. So thank you for watching.